Hi, my cuties. It's Miss Freed. I hope that you're staying safe with your family. I am not sure how these videos are going to look or if you're even going to like them, but I did send home those little scholar bundles for you guys, and I just want to start off by saying that these bundles are not going to be checked by me. They're not going in gradebook. You're not going to get consequences for not doing them. I just wanted to make that clear. However, you guys know me, and I am a little bit extra, and I can't just know that you're at home doing nothing, especially because you guys love to learn, and you love to be connected, and you love to grow with your academics. So I thought that I would use those materials because they're strong materials, and I would record about like a 5 to 20 minute video each day, kind of going over what you could be doing for that day to stay on top of your third grade academics, go over some answers, and then that way if you have any questions in my office hours from 4 to 5 p.m. every day, you can ask me then. So today is Monday, March 16th. Shortcut date is 3/16/20. And on the schedule for today we have morning work. The morning work that you should have completed this morning is the clock morning work and the place value blocks on the back. So that was the morning work for today. Doing 3 pages of math, either in the red math book or the blue workbook. I realized that they are the exact same thing. So you could have done it in the blue or the red book, so just stick whichever one you prefer. We have 3 pages. So 1, 2, and 3. You should have ended on these geometry questions here. We're going to do one passage.
We're going to do one passage a day of the ELA Ready book. So the first passage in this book is on page 1, called Finders Keepers, and we've actually read this text once together already, so it should feel familiar to you when you read it. And then one math story a day, which today is 7.10, The Parade. So I thought in my videos we would start off with Be the Sun, Not the Salt, and just read one a day and continue to learn how to shine sunshine on people's branches as opposed to putting salt. And I apologize for the lighting. I am not a YouTube teacher. If you have any tips, let me know. So far, my cuties, we have learned these pieces of advice from Dr. Cohen. We have learned: do all the good you can, be helpful, respect people's feelings, show you care, be your best self, light someone up, apologize well, assume positive intent, win always wins, don't hang with the cilantro, learn to walk away. Did we read that one? Let me see. Yes, we did. All right, so the next one is called Hold the Salt. For some people, being the sun is a bridge too far. Some days, it's just too far for any of us. We all have those moments. When you are in that place, just know that it's really still powerful not to pour salt on people's roots. Bite your tongue. You do not need to say everything you think. Refrain from raining on people's parades. It's so obvious that it may seem ridiculous to bring up, but sometimes reminders are good. Just as there are many ways to be heliotropic, there are as many ways to be salt. Don't be. Don't be a talking machine. Stop and listen. Don't be a jerk. Observe your behavior and turn it around. Don't be a drag to be around. Loosen up. Brighten up. Make it your aim to inspire. Don't be a fault finder or a blame thrower. If there's a problem, help solve it. It is a lot easier to see when other people are being jerks than when we ourselves are being jerks. But if you want to care to become aware, you will begin to notice when you pour salt on someone's roots. When you observe that it happened, you have a choice. You can do it again or not. You don't have to complicate it, just make a correction. Don't interrupt next time. Stop yourself from assuming blame. Now, if you don't care about pouring salt on other people's roots, well, maybe this book can't help you. Still, you could do something kind in the moment. Give this book to someone else. Giving a gift is a heliotropic thing to do. So today we're learning about the idea to hold the salt. Tomorrow we will learn about being your own best friend. I think we accidentally skipped hold the salt and we read be your own best friend. So tomorrow we'll learn speak fluent gratitude. I'm very excited about that. All right, so let's take a look at this morning work for today. Telling time. Let's start at number 1. Let's see if Miss Freed will get these correct. So for number 1, you should have gotten 2:30. Number 2, you should have gotten 11 o'clock. I know that hour hand looks a little bit right behind the 11, but if it was 10 o'clock, it would be really close to the 10. Number 3 is 8:30. Number 4 is 10 o'clock. Number 5 is 12 o'clock. Number 6 is 3 o'clock. Number 7 is 6 o'clock. Number 8 is 9 o'clock. Number 9 is 5:30. Number 10 is 4:30. That one's a little bit tricky. Make sure that you're looking at the hour clock, or hour hand, excuse me. 11 is 1 o'clock. And 12 is 7:30. You should have gotten these answers. Take a look. Let's move on to the back side. You can always pause the video there to check your work. I'm doing this with you too. So I also want you guys to know that if you're doing this work, you're not in it alone. I'm doing it with you. Let's make sure to get it done. All right, so it says, visual place value less than 20, fill in the blank amounts. So we have these examples here with 1 10 stick and 5 individual cubes. Here we have 0 10 sticks and 4 individual cubes. Number 1 is interesting because we have 2 sets of 5 stacked on top of each other, so I'm going to assume that that's 1 whole 10. And I don't see any individual cubes, so that's going to be 0. So number 1 is 10. 0 10s for number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 individual cubes. So number 2 is 8. 1 10 and 3 1s. Number 3 is 13. Number 4 is 0 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1s. Number 4 is 7. Number 5, 1 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 1s. Number 5 is 18. Number 6 is 1 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 9 1s. Number 6 is 19. Number 7 is 0 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 1s. 0 10s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 9. 9 1s. Number 7 is 6. Number 8 is 9. Number 9 is 1 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1s. Number 10 is 1 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 1s. So number 9 is 16. And number 10 is 17. Here are the answers. 10, 8, 13, 7, 18, 19, 6, 9, 16, and 7. And again, pause the video if you feel like you need to. All right. 3 pages of math, done. 1 ELA passage. So we read Finders Keepers. We've already read that, so I hope that you were jotting as you read and that you were writing a main idea at the end. You should have written character, problem, solution, and lesson learned. So the characters are Sophie, Veronica, and Maggie. The problem is that Sophie wants to keep this bracelet, but it doesn't belong to her. The solution is that Sophie decides to return the bracelet to Maggie, and the lesson learned is return the items to their rightful owners. So we have number 1 here. This one you should have been able to do based on your skills with constructed response. So you're writing at the top a quote that supports why you think that Sophie in the beginning thinks that the bracelet is for herself. So you could have written maybe like the quote where she says, finders keepers, losers weepers, right? That proves that she wants to keep that. And for Veronica, what she thinks, we know that the evidence is that we should return it to the office, so she thinks that it should be returned and not kept. Number 2, the answer is C. Number 3, the answer is A, because it's asking what was her motivation, essentially, for eventually asking Maggie what she was looking for, right? Because she didn't really want to ask because she knew the answer, but she was motivated to ask because she knew the pain that her brother went through. So the answer to number 3 is that she remembers how upset her brother Jack was the time he lost his toy leopard. Now remember, part B is connecting to part A. So we need to review part A, where she remembers how upset her brother was about the toy leopard, and we know that the answer is C. So this page we have C, A, C. On this back side, what does the word sparkled mean? You should have gone back to the text, reviewed that paragraph. You could use substitution, so going through the answer choices and found it out. When I went back and I saw that the pink beads sparkled in the sun, my first thought was shine, so I wrote shine at the top as my idea. I went through the pink beads found in the sun, slash the trash. The pink beads shown in the sun, shown is the past tense of shine, that was my exact idea. Part C, the pink beads fixed in the sun. Or D, the pink beads shook in the sun. The only answer that makes sense is B. And the bottom is the lesson learned constructed response. Hopefully you already wrote your lesson learned in your main idea, so it should be simple to move one from the other. Awesome. And let's see. ELA. Pages of math. Which equations can be used to find the solution? Mark all that apply. So we have 54 divided by 9. We remember that division is taking a total and dividing them or dispersing them into equal groups. And in this case, 9 equal groups. The question is asking you which equations can be used to find the solution. Mark all that apply. Okay, so as a strong mathematician, the first thing that I would think about is what is my quotient, right? So what is 54 divided by 9? Okay, so I know that I'm looking for 6. So I'm looking to see what other problems are going to have 6 in the box. So I have 9 times blank equals 54. Magic maybe. 9 divided by box equals 54. I'm going to slash the trash because I know that I can't do 9 divided by something and get an answer that's bigger than 9. C says 54 divided by something equals 9. Magic maybe. And box groups of 9 equals 54. The answers are A, C, and D. Part B, 8 groups of 7 equals box. I'm looking for which equations. As a strong mathematician, however, I'm going to make sure that I answer this question so that I know what I'm working with and can fill in the blanks accordingly. So I know that 8 times 7 is going to get me 56. So I'm going to plug this 56 into each of my answers and see if they make sense. A, 56 groups of 7 equals 8. Nope. B, 56 divided by 8 equals 7. Magic maybe. 56 divided by 7 equals 8. Magic maybe. 8 divided by 56. I already know that that cannot be done because I can't divide a smaller number by a bigger number. So I'm going to slash the trash. My answers are B and C. So this first page you have A, C, and D, and B and C. Woo! I hope this is fun. Give me feedback. I do not know how to be a YouTube teacher. I'm just trying to show you the answers to the work that you're doing. Obviously, please do the work before you watch the video, and so that you can have a little fun time. Ooh, elapsed time question. I love it. Number 2 on the back says, Jerome started reading at 6:35 and finished at 7:30. How long did Jerome read? So I know that 6:35 plus 5 minutes is going to get me to 6:40. I know that 6:40 plus 20 minutes is going to get me to 7 o'clock. I know that 7 o'clock plus 30 minutes is going to get me to my end time of 7:30. So I have my start time, which is 6:35, and my end time, which is 7:30. So I know that in order to figure out how long Jerome read for, I need to add my elapsed time in between. So I know that 20 plus 30 equals 50, 50 plus 5 equals 55. Let's see if any of my answers match. The answer is B. Sergio writes this expression on the board, 30 divided by 6. Which problem is represented by his expression? The number of groups of dimes when there are 30 dimes split into groups of 6. As we talked about, a total being dispersed into 6 groups. Then we have the total number of cups when there are 30 stacks of 6 cups. 30 groups of 6, I don't think so. The number of balloons left when there are 30 balloons and 6 balloons pop. Don't think so. And the total number of birds when the 30 birds land in each of 6 trees. The total number of birds when 30 birds land in each of 6 trees. So I know that what D is saying is that the total number of birds when 30 birds lands in each of 6 trees. So essentially, in each tree, they're implying that there's 30 birds, 6 groups of 30. And we know that 6 groups of 30 is not the same as having a total of 30 and dispersing them into 6 equal groups. So the only possible answer is A. So you should have gotten B for that top question, A for the bottom question of page 2. Finally, we have number 4 on page 3, which says, which terms can be used for all 3 figures? Mark all that apply. Option A is a rhombus. We know that a rhombus is a quadrilateral with 4 sides and 4 angles that are all the same, that have sides that are all the same size. So it looks like it cannot apply to all 3 because there's only one that could be considered a rhombus. A quadrilateral looks like all 3 of these shapes have 4 sides, so B is correct. A rectangle, remember a square is a rectangle, but not all rectangles are squares, so we can say yes, that all of these are rectangles. That's a quadrilateral with 4 right angles. And then a parallelogram means that there's opposite sides are parallel. So 2 pairs of parallel sides also applies. So for number 4, part A on page 3, you should have gotten B, C, and D. And part B says which term can be used for all 3 figures? Rhombus, nope, not all the sides are equal. Quadrilateral, yes, all 3 of these have 4 sides. Rectangle, no, we know that there's a trapezoid that cannot be considered a rectangle because it does not have square corners. And we have a parallelogram, can't do parallelogram either because we know the trapezoid, those 2 sides would eventually cross. So part B, the only answer is B. All right, so we are on our way. 7.10. You should have jotted what you were solving for. So it says, I'm going to read this rapid fire, stay with me. Kim promised for a toy factory that she would order 300 toys from them. She ordered 5 packs of 20 whistles for people to play in a parade and 6 30 packs of spinning tops to give away at a parade. How many items did she order from the toy factory? Did she keep her promise? If not, how many more items did she need to order? I know the first time I read, all I need to know is what I'm solving for. So I am solving for how many items did she meet her promise, and if not, how many more items. And then the second time that I read, go ahead and read on your own. Beep, bop, boop, beep, bop, bop. I'm assuming you're watching this video after you've done all your work. So I want you to do your work independently, and then you can hop on class with me to check your work. So I know that she promised 300 items. She has 5 packs of 20. And she has 6 30 packs as well. So we are working through this with 5 packs of 20, 30 packs of 6, or 6 30 packs rather. So I know that my plan of attack, if I'm looking for all items together, I'm eventually gonna have to join these. So I can do 5 groups of 20 to get my first, plus 6 groups of 30 to get my total. So I know that 5 groups of 20, I know 5 times 2 is 10. Attach a 0 for place value to get 100. I know that 6 times 30, I know 6 times 3 is 18. Attach a 0 with place value 180. So I know that I need to add these 2 per my plan of attack. So I'm going to do 100 plus 180, carefully stacking by place value. I have 0, 8, and 2. So my answer is 280 items. Excuse my handwriting. I know that that means if she promised 300, that she did not meet her promise, because 280 does not equal 300. Then the question asks me that if she did not meet her promise, how many more items would she need? I know that when I'm talking about that unit with operations, that when a question's asking me how many more of something I need to take the bigger number from the smaller number and subtract. So I can do 300 minus 280. 0 take away 0, I can do that, 0. 0 take away 8, alarm bells should be going off in your head, borrow from my neighbor. Take 100 away, I have 2 hundreds left, bring the 100 to the tens place. So I have 10 minus 8 or 100 minus 80, depending on place value. So I have 2, 2 minus 2 is nothing, so she would need 20 more items. All right, so those are all of your answers. I'm thinking tomorrow I'll do the work ahead of time, then I'll send it on video so that it can be a little bit more concise for you guys and you're not waiting around for me to answer it, especially if you're doing the work beforehand. So I can complete the work, then show it to you, and it'll be a lot faster. Each day, I'm hoping to also send a little movement link, so either Cosmic Kids Yoga or Just Dance or something from YouTube that's fun and funny to dance along to, so that you're getting some movement in your day. Feel free to do that, as all of this is optional, but I just thought it'd be fun and nice to spend about 20 minutes a day together. If you're done here, go ahead and click out of the video, but I am going to be reading a little bit of Tales of Despero every day, so if you want to read a little bit with me, stick around. So we just finished at the part with Gregory, and he's in the dungeon, and remember that Roscaro is there. So I'm going to restart page 88 so that we have a little memory. Light, he said aloud. And then he whispered the word again, light. From that moment forward, Roscaro showed an abnormal, inordinate interest in illumination of all sorts. He was always in the darkness of the dungeon, on the lookout for light, the smallest glimmer, the tiniest shimmer. Remember, he was lit with fire, yes? His rat soul longed inexplicably for it. He began to think that light was the only thing that gave life meaning, and that he despaired that there was so little of it to be had. He finally voiced this sentiment to his friend, a very old one-eared rat named Botticelli Rimorso. "I think," said Roscoe, "that the meaning of life is light." "Light," said Botticelli. "Ha ha ha! You kill me. Light has nothing to do with it." "What does it all mean then?" asked Roscoe. "The meaning of life," said Botticelli, "is suffering. Specifically the suffering of others. Prisoners, for instance. Reducing a prisoner to a weeping and wailing and begging is a delightful way to invest your existence with meaning." As he spoke, Botticelli swung from one extraordinarily long nail of his right front paw a heart-shaped locket. He had taken the locket from a prisoner and hung it on a thin braided rope. Whenever Botticelli spoke, the locket moved. Back and forth it swung. "Are you listening?" Botticelli said to Roscoe. "I am listening." "Good," said Botticelli. "Do as I say, and your life will be full of meaning." This is how to torture a prisoner. First, you must convince him that you are a friend. Listen to him. Encourage him to confess his sins. And when the time is right, talk to him. Tell him that what he wants to hear. Tell him, for instance, that you will forgive him. This is a wonderful joke to play upon a prisoner. A promise for forgiveness. "Why?" said Roscoe. His eyes went back and forth following the locket. "Because," said Botticelli, "you will promise it, but you will not grant it. You gain his trust, and then you deny him. You refuse to offer the very thing he wants. Forgiveness, freedom, friendship, whatever it is that his heart most desires, you withhold." At this point in the lecture, Botticelli laughed so hard that he had to sit down and catch his breath. The locket swayed slowly back and forth and then stopped altogether. "Ha!" said Botticelli. "Ha ha ha! You gain his trust. You refuse him. You become what he knew you were all along. What you knew you were all along. Not a friend, not a confessor, not a forgiver, but a rat." Botticelli wiped his eyes and shook the locket in motion again. At that point, it is most effective to run back and forth over the prisoner's feet, inducing physical terror along with emotional sort. "Oh," he said, "it is such a lovely game, and just it is absolutely chock-full of meaning." "I would like very much to torture a prisoner," said Roscoe. "I would like to make someone suffer." "Your time will come," said Botticelli. "Currently, all the prisoners are spoken for, but another prisoner will arrive sooner or later." "How do I know this to be true?" "Because, Roscoe, thankfully there is evil in the world, and a presence of evil guarantees the existence of prisoners." "So soon there will be a prisoner for me," said the rat. "Yes," said Botticelli Rimorso. "Yes, I'm looking forward to it." "Ha ha ha! Of course you are looking forward to it. You are looking forward to it because you're a rat, a real rat." "Yes," said Roscoe, "I am a real rat." "Concerned not at all with the light," said Botticelli. "Concerned not at all with the light," said Roscoe. Botticelli laughed again and shook his head. The locket suspended from the long nail of his paw swung back and forth, back and forth. "You, my young friend, are a rat." "Exactly. Yes, evil rats. It all fits together so neatly, so sweetly. Oh, it is a lovely world, a lovely, dark world." So remember, we finished the story about, well, maybe not finished completely. We're not sure if we'll be introduced to it again, but of Despero. And then we have the book, the second, Chiaroscuro. And so we're going to see where that leads us. I'm sorry that was a little dark today. But, you know, we have heard a lot of dark things about the Rat Dungeon. So we will see where it takes us tomorrow. But I hope that you stayed with me this whole time. If you did, make sure that you let me know somehow. Send me a text or send me an email, however your parents are contacting me these days. And let me know. But I'm so proud of you. I wish that we could be together. I know that these videos are a little drawn out. I'm going to make them much more concise. But I hope that you're having fun. I hope that this is a good way for your parents to know the answers to the work that you're doing. And again, it's not going to be in grade book. It's just these are for those scholars that want to pump it up to that next level and continue to work hard. So, mwah, have a great night. Be safe. Wash your hands.